tea, cakes, and speed melt. Fuck, I mean J-Rock. K-On! Is an anime that's pretty much known for, well, nothing actually happening, which is very true but also untrue at the same time. This anime is more about the good vibe, having fun, and banging tunes. Also eating a lot of cake. Like seriously, how do these characters not have diabetes yet? The anime starts out with us meeting the character Yui, who is a professional idiot and also probably has ADHD, just like me, who is going to be late for a new school day thingy where she officially becomes a high schooler, which I don't know why you'd be excited for that. She arrives at school and finds out she's actually an hour early because she somehow managed to read the clock wrong, even though it was a digital one on her phone. After the typical high school shit, she then gets bombarded with invitations to different clubs, but even 2 weeks in, and she still can't decide what club she wants to join. Which then leads us to these two characters, Ritsu and our Lord and Savior Mio. Wait, how old is she? Oh, fuck. So, we have Mio, who is a bass player and that is left-handed and also gets scared really fucking easily. Then we have Ritsu, who's a pure fucking force of Armageddon nature, surprisingly isn't a grindcore drummer. Later then we meet Mugi, who is a lesbian, and is also one of the strongest creatures known to man. She could probably easily deadlift a Ford F350. She's also the keyboard player in the band and is also super rich. And then we have Miss Yamanaka, who is the music teacher at the school, and she's pretty fine though. Also, she's a bit crazy, but she's fine though. And then later in the series, we get the character Azusa, who's just basically this.
You're wrong! You're all like, that'll never happen. And then we'll get all cool, and you'll be all like, whoa! And then we'll be all like, in your face! And then I'll be all like, get back to work!
For real though, Azusa just wants to play guitar and do band shit instead of just drink tea and cakes. But like, she then gets indoctrinated into the way of drinking tea and cakes. Eventually, after 2 weeks still, she still hasn't joined the club, so Yui goes to talk with Miss Yamanaka, and then Miss Yamanaka's like, yo, why don't you just join the light music club? They're like pretty lit. And she's like, okay. And then, but there's, you know, one slight problem in the way. She can't play any instruments except for these weird clappy things. So she sort of just awkwardly stands outside the club room, absolutely terrified of her mind. And then Ritsu sort of just taps her on, like, yo bro, you okay? And then she's like screaming. And then they let her into the club room to then interrogate her about what her favorite guitarist is, whether it's like Jimmy Page or Jimi Hendrix. I mean, personally, mine is James Hetfield, but like, anyways. So Ritsu just lets her stay in the club so that they can still exist. But then eventually they help her buy a guitar by working, and Yui asking money from her parents. And then like they also play a song to her as well. I completely forgot about that. I forgot to write it down. Shit. Oh yeah, and instead of buying, you know, a basic guitar for a beginner like a Yamaha Pacifica or a goddamn Ibanez Geo, you know what? She goes out and buys a Gibson Les Paul, a very, very expensive guitar. So then she takes it home and then starts to play that thing hard. But then, like, forgets literally everything else, including her midterm exams. So she then has to do a makeup exam and then, like, spends a week, you know, instead of revising, playing guitar. Now, one thing I love about this anime is the references to music, and specifically metal music. And why? Because I'm fucking biased as shit. But in episode 4, there's a scene where Mio is going to clean out one of the rooms in the, light music club room, and then she takes out a box from the old previous light music club, and in there is an Ozzy Osbourne album. Well, it's actually like some sort of notebook or whatever, but it's actually Ziggy Osbourne. Yeah. And in season 2, episode 2, they find a Gibson SG literally just in the storage room of the club room. Like, what was that doing there for like plus 20 years anyways? But then they take it to Miss Yamanaka, who tells it to sell it because it was like a present from her friend or from her like dad's friend or something like that. But they take it to go and sell it, and they find out it's worth a lot of money because it's like important guitar players use it, and it's an old model. Like, there's some of the guitar players to bring up, like there's Angus Young from AC/DC, Tony Iommi from Black Sabbath, by the way, best guitarist ever, and there's one other guy there, but I completely forgot his name. So like, if someone could tell me, that'd be pretty sick. And obviously, since it's a vintage model guitar, they ended up getting a lot of money for it, which like, then there's this amazing scene of Ritsu trying to eat the receipt. And then like Miss Yamanaka telling them off, but then like they, instead of like spending it on like anything useful for the club, they end up just buying a pet dog. By the way, the music in this anime is actually fucking amazing. Kira Kira Days, No Thank You, and Fuwa Time, which I probably pronounced all horribly, are all amazing songs. And to be honest, all the songs in this anime are actually fucking just amazing. They're some of my favorite songs, which actually this anime got me started on J-Rock in general, so yeah. But you know, one thing I want to mention is the band Death Devil in this anime, which by the way is just Japanese speed metal, and it's just fucking orgasmic. Death Devil is one of the old like music clubs which happened to be Miss Yamanaka's band. And throughout the anime, there's a little bit of talk about it here and there in like little I like to say cutscenes, little like references to it here and there. And then there's this whole scene of just Miss Yamanaka going down the metal rabbit hole, where because she wants to date this one guy, and then like she keeps going further and further down it, and then she's constantly asking about it. He's like, no, and he's like, no, and then then eventually it's leads up to the point where she's dressed up as one of the people from Kiss, and then asking the guy out. He's like, no. And then obviously after the whole like music club that arc, they eventually break up. But then eventually Death Devil is reformed because there's some person who wants them to perform at their wedding, and then Miss Yamanaka's reluctant to do it, so Yui and Azusa have to do it instead. But like, then eventually she sees them upstage and she fucking cringes, and then she's like, no, I'm gonna fucking do it. She walks up there like a fucking Giga Chad, snaps Yui's guitar from her, does a fucking epic solo, and then just like, then she does the song, and it's fucking brilliant. Basically, Miss Yamanaka's a Giga Chad. Now, Bocce the Rock. I know I'm about to talk about Bocce the Rock for just have a hold up there. So, Bocce the Rock's animation for when they were playing the guitar is obviously very, very accurate and really fucking awesome. You can see this in K-On! As well, which the animation for is really good because obviously it's Kyoto Animation. Kyoto Animation does some fucking sick stuff. But like, the animation is obviously really good, and obviously you can see it's very accurate. But like, you know, sometimes they do have to like make it, zoom it out, make sure it does. Sometimes it's just it's pretty good, but not like amazingly just done as amazing as Bocce the Rock, because obviously Bocce the Rock is way newer. But like, you can see in the close-ups, like for example, when Miss Yamanaka does a guitar solo and Yui solo, which I just played a second ago, it's really, really good. Another really great thing I love about K-On! Is just its sense of humor, because it's good. It's not wacky, over-the-top wacky, like something like, what's that anime called? Gintama, but it's not as crazy as something like, Nichigo, Boruto. No, it's like the perfect amount of like chill comedy. It's not over the top. It's just good, and also the comedic timing in the anime is brilliant as well. And then also just it's just good. One thing I don't like about the anime is, well, to be honest, it's kind of slow, and like, well, as much as I love the anime, I did prefer Bocce the Rock to this, because Bocce the Rock really got down to business when it comes to, you know, doing the music part. Because to be honest, when I was watching it, I had the idea of like, they're gonna like, you know, be a band and like go out there making epic songs, guitar solos, thingy like that, and doing concerts like every other episode. But like, to be honest, it did grow on me, the little chill aspect, because it did show them how the characters interact with each other, which makes the characters seem more like work well together. But like, I wish they played a little bit more concerts throughout the thing, because like, the concert scenes in this anime are actually really good. And also, speaking of, continuing with the theme of concerts, actually, the scene where they actually, I say the scene, the whole episode where they actually go to a festival, that was actually probably one of the best representations of going to a music festival, like, ever. Because, like, I recently went to see my favourite band, Sabaton, live, and, like, oh my god, it was fucking amazing. There was also Baby Metal and Lordi there, but, like, we don't need to talk about that for now. But the experience of going to the concert for the first time was just fucking awesome. Like, you see how, like, in the scene where, like, you know, the bass player starts playing, then, like, everything sort of, like, cheers up, then you get this, like, thing like, fuck yeah, let's fucking go! That's exactly what happened in that. The anime perfectly captured. That scene was just fucking awesome. And also, because, like, obviously, I say recently, it was two to 3 months ago I went, but, like, it perfectly captured that. And, like, I've never actually seen a concert scene in an anime that perfectly has captured that. I mean, like, when I recently watched Angel Beats as well, and their concert scene there, it's good, but, like, it didn't capture that specific vibe of, like, to be honest, I haven't seen any other anime that specifically captured the way that a concert, like, happens. Like, it gives you that feeling of just pure fucking energy, which makes people want to fucking scream the lyrics to the songs. And I haven't seen that in any other anime. That's one thing K-On! Did to fucking brilliantly. Overall, K-On! Is a really awesome show that I absolutely fucking love. For some reason, I genuinely cannot explain why, but I just fucking love this show a lot. This is just the perfect anime to for you to just turn off your brain and just watch if you want to, like, if you've had, like, I don't know, a bad day at work, which for me is every day at work, but like, it just makes me feel happy, I guess. And also the music is fucking banging. So if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to, you know, like and subscribe, and then comment down below if you want to see me review the K-On! Shuffle manga. Anyways, thanks for watching and goodbye.